Jai Guruji, Auntie.
Jay,
Welcome.
how are you?
Fine.
All good. So we today is the last day for reading, and I hope you enjoy the book as much when you read it on your own. So we will, without further ado, start with chapter 35, which is flow. Those who flow as life flows know they need no other force except his. So basically, when we surrender to Guruji, then we learn to flow with the flow, literally. So it's important to be like water in a way where, pani ki tarah ro and har rang mein milte jao. So it's like, like I always say, and it's very invaluable that we learn to observe everything around us and whatever's going on, right or wrong, but don't absorb that energy because that energy, negative energy, is bound to impact us. So it's important to protect ourselves from that negative energy around us, but not to react to it also. He makes the water flow in one direction. Guruji makes our lives flow in a definite direction while he moves us from one place to another. He blesses us in the air, in the sea, and anywhere and everywhere, whether we are still or we are in motion. With overpowering gratitude, I now landed in Dubai, and after swiftly fulfilling the airport formalities, I went home to change and drive to Anishka's studio for the opening satsang there. Chetan Rao had outdone himself with his soulful singing. Guruji had showered his unrivaled grace on each Sangat as they had all felt the unparalleled power of his presence at the satsang. It was altogether a magical evening, and I felt elated that Guruji afforded me the strength and the stamina to take flight in a flicker. It was crystal clear that Anishka was overjoyed on seeing me, and Sunakshi, who had encouraged me to do the needful, was also happy that I paid heed to her. I was both overjoyed and humbled. Guruji micromanages our children's lives, and that evening was a testimony of his presence in each heart. Much to my astonishment, there was a fabulous turnout of Sangat who drenched Anishka with their blessings for this new chapter in her career as a wellness practitioner. She was shining her light and being in the space of healing others through various modalities in her studio. From yoga, meditation, sound healing, and many other healing techniques, she was already busy in her career. And this was another feather in her cap. I was content knowing that she had carved out her niche and was contented on her chosen path. I stayed in Dubai for 2 weeks, having this time of my life before I dashed back to Delhi to attend my dear friend Ashwarya's wedding in Bhopal. It was 19th of January, and I flew there with my cousin Minu to revel in the wedding celebrations that was overflowing with color, charm, and character. Guneet Monga and her husband Sunny were also with us, and we had the most magnificent time together. As always, Sapna Singhdeo had hosted us with her magnanimous heart that also showered us with her love. The royal wedding was truly a rich and spectacular experience that will undoubtedly go down in my memory book. Guruji loves us through his Sangat, and he illustrates to us all the time that we are one true family. For Valentine's Day, I flew to Bombay to celebrate the occasion with Guneet Monga as she held a soulful satsang at her home. Like Guruji had said back then, that his Sangat would increase manifold beyond anything we can imagine. I witnessed a sea of new faces there. In fact, I come across new faces all the time now as his Sangat is connecting to him every millisecond. Guruji is clearly drenching mankind in his grace and blessings. He is our all merciful, all loving, transformative, and reformative Guruji. May he continue to rain blessings on humankind, as now we are truly in the midst of a very volatile time. And in these unstable times, faith is our only stability. In this ever-changing climate, the constant is only him and his name. Therefore, he used to say, Naam manglo, baki sab kuch ਇੱਥੇ ਰਹਿ ਜਾਣਾ ਹੈ, and naam de naal ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ strength mildi hai. We gain confidence, we gain courage to be able to endure and overcome every climate. May we all be a witness to the shift in consciousness that is now happening around the globe, whereby we previously gave priority to everything else but him. Now he takes precedence. He changes our mindset from taking him to be an option, whereby we visit the temple or attend a satsang perhaps, perhaps on a monthly basis, to attending weekly or perhaps more satsangs. Depending on the need of the hour, I have attended satsangs more than 3 to 4 times a week to once a fortnight. When I'm in Delhi, I make it a priority to visit his holy Bada Mandir weekly to absorb and assimilate the energy and to consume the Langar Prasad as my medicine that helps me to forge ahead. It keeps my mind, body, and soul together. I believe with absolute conviction that he is the one who keeps me afloat in body and spirit. There are days when my autoimmune, when my feet trudge along on the earth's plane. And then there are better days when there is a spring in my step. No 2 days are ever the same. The spring is what transpires after continual prayer and service. There is unexplained Shakti in Bhakti. And like I said, we cannot explain Guruji, but we can certainly extol him. We can't explain who Guruji is or what he is and what his strengths are and what all he can do, his magnificence, but we can certainly sing his praises. Meher gao, Guruji said. Meher bhi bahut badi blessing hoti hai. And उसमें ही आपका कल्याण होता है. जब हम मेहर सुनाते हैं गुरु जी की, हमारे अपने कर्म कटते रहते हैं, बुरे कर्म कटते रहते हैं. Faith, as I say, faith never moves mountains, but it does give us the prowess and the strength and the courage to climb the mountain. And there are mountains in everyone's life. But Sarbadda Bala Guruji. Thank you, Guruji. Okay, so this is actually the epilogue which I wrote, which is, again, certain sentiments that come from the heart. So in Guruji lies supreme shelter, support, and stability for each one of us. Since birth, the soul thirsts for love. This is an innate yearning of every human being. We all thirst for love. There is an unquenchable thirst. As a baby, we are given parental love. And as an adult, the quest for love continues. Love can lead to many disappointments and heartache too, leaving us feeling hollow and unfulfilled. The longing of love never spares us, as it is an intrinsic part of who we are. Owing to the desperate need for love and its subsequent disappointments, we tend to resort to shallow activities to fill the emptiness we feel. We seek, but we fail to find, because we are not seeking in the right place, particularly in today's world, where everybody wants a quick fix. Agar wo low feel karte hain, they go on social media, or they'll go for drinks, binge drinking. So they're not really seeking in the right place. Therefore, we never find what the soul wants. The soul is seeking. It is only God's love for us that is unconditional. Guruji embraces all our imperfections and loves us still without judgment. Only He has the capacity to give without reason and has perpetual patience to guide each one of us. We must be willing to receive by opening ourselves up to His flawless blessings. The fault lies in our own capacity to be receiving. मैं ता तुहानू देन आया, पर तुहानू लेना नहीं आंदा. I have come to give you, but you do not know how to receive. Karantu parantu which pay ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਹੋ. You are embroiled in your ifs and buts. In this ever-changing world, he is eternally changeless. Once I embarked on my journey with him, I realized with time that no matter how much of an uphill ride life can be, he makes it relatively smooth. And there were many bumps back then. In my marriage, it was a struggle. Every day, there was volatility and uncertainty. The divine highway to which all paths eventually lead is devotional meditation. And I realized this when I was going through the uphill climb of my marriage. This eventually, through ardent practice, liberates us when we truly trust that this path that I was treading on, and I had difficulties, that Guruji still hand-holding me and enabling me to go through my karmas so that ahead I will see a smooth road. So eventually, when we connect to him through ardent practice, we are liberated from the threefold suffering: physical disease, mental discord, and spiritual ignorance. Furthermore, there is suffering caused by living beings, and then there is suffering caused by natural forces, earthquakes, tsunamis, droughts, etc. How do we connect? Ask many. All scriptures encourage us to sit quietly, to commune with God with our eyes closed. Those who seek him will find him within themselves. Practicing, chanting his mantra daily enables us to reach the stage where we want to sit in silence in our own sanctuary. We can do this for any number of minutes that eventually may lead to hours. I have not reached that stage yet. We cannot achieve this sense of oneness by reading books or listening to podcasts that are spiritually elevating and inspire fervor and faith. They give us knowledge, but practice is what gives us the attainment and fulfillment we seek. Knowing him is loving him. His love gives us complete fulfillment and satisfaction. In time, he reveals to us our own real identity as each one of us asks, who am I and why am I here? This is a perennial question each human being asks at one time or another. मैं यहाँ क्या कर रही हूँ दुनिया में? मैं कौन हूँ? मेरी क्या identity है? क्या पहचान है? What is my role in this earth? We all ask. But through consistent prayer and through consistent service, he reveals to us who we are and why we are here. When with great humility we fall at his supreme feet and ask him to free us from the illusion of the material life, he does so by placing us on the path. वो है सच्ची चीज, अच्छी चीज. Like he said, सच्चा और अच्छा बनो, चंगी चीज मंगो. So when we ask for liberation and we ask him to bring us on the path truly, then he does so. Gradually, through the repetition of his teachings, comes to light our own reality. Most mercifully and kindly, he reveals our truth. The more we humbly submit to him and inquire from him about our spiritual progress, the more he frees us from the miseries of material entanglements and leads us into God consciousness. He encourages us to be our authentic selves and to live our best lives as he blesses each one of us with Kalyan Gita, Ja Eshkar. His words are profound and they travel far and wide. He coached us to overcome the bad with good in thought, word, and deed. He encouraged us to replace our sorrow with joy, to demonstrate kindness to all, to replace ignorance with wisdom. Basic teachings that often take a lifetime to adapt. But as long as we are open to learning and taking that first step, he certainly handholds us and takes us where we need to be. He gradually prepares us to delve deeper into ourselves as he cleanses our past karmas. Through service to mankind, He illustrates to us that we are all one, part of the same humanity. Humility and compassion for all is the motto by which to live our lives. Nivyanu fal lagda, he said. Pomp and splendor was not a flavor he relished, since he encouraged simple living and high thinking. Low profile, low profile raho. Dunya di nazra vich nahi aao. He imparts the teachings for us to cultivate a direct personal experience of God, and the very purpose of life is the evolution through self-effort of our limited mortal consciousness into divine consciousness. So he takes us from the lower worlds to the higher worlds. He takes us from ignorance to knowledge. It is he who converts. Approaching a spiritual master is not a fashion, but a necessity for those who are seriously conscious of the material miseries and wish to be free of them. When Arjun was perplexed by so many problems involving whether to fight or not, he accepted Lord Krishna as a spiritual master, trusted in him, and totally gave the reins of his lives in his hands. In the Bhagavad Gita, we learn that the nature of the individual entity is spirit, soul. He is not the matter. He is not the matter. As spirit soul, he is part and parcel of the Supreme Soul. We are all part of Guruji. We are all a speck of the bigger light, which is Guruji. So, as spirit soul, he's part and parcel of the Supreme Soul, the absolute truth, the personality of the Godhead. We also learn that it is the duty of the spirit soul to surrender. For only then can we truly be happy. And happiness, as we know, is every human being's birthright. Guruji states the same: positive surrender leads to positive happiness. I personally have barely scratched the surface and know in my heart that I still have many miles to go before I reach the summit of realization. For that, I need him to walk beside me, to enable me to climb every hill and mountain, to attain the peak of real happiness. In losing myself, I know the more I lose myself, the more I gain him. For now, I thank him for all that is and trust him for all that will be. With love in my heart and overflowing gratitude, I now sign off, at least for now. So, Jai Guruji, I hope you're still there, all of you. एक छोटी सी poem लिखी है मैंने गुरुजी की. If I may, I would love to read it to you all. So it's just a short poem, a poem of love. It is in the calm depths of my being that I see the ethereal light of love and divinity. Within me, then, is the temple of stillness, where I feel Guruji's celestial presence. A sincere expression from the heart will ensure we never do part. I drink the nectar of love from my soul, where you reside, Guruji, to make me whole. With you, I feel an extraordinary splendor that never satiates, leaving me to want more. By taking your name, all miseries perish. The blessed langar is what I most relish. How with words can I possibly praise your glory and accurately recount my life's success story? I feel a distinct sense of gratitude and profound joyfulness that I exude. How you have created for me a new dawn, where the flowers of hope bloom every morn. You clear out the weeds of delusion and doubt, for only positive surrender to sprout. You are the cause, Guruji, of all that is, was, and will be, the beginning and ending of all that we don't even see. You create, sustain, and annihilate, and change your devotees' fate. You are the sovereign of the universe. In your infinite love, let me immerse. To dispel the innate darkness within me, I urge you, Guruji, to light the candle of divinity. That is truly it now, I think. And then I end it with which I won't repeat today because it's a practice. It's a rose meditation, which I learned. So we can all, once you get the book, you can practice that. And then the last but not the least, your blessings are like pouring tea into a waiting cup. The tea is poured until the cup is full, but it continues to pour until it trickles down the sides of the cup. You said, empty the cup, and then I will fill you with the blessings. Guruji helped me to empty it. And now it is overflowing. Jai Guruji. Om Namah Shivaya. Shivji Sadasahai. Om Namah Shivaya. Guruji Sadasahai. In my calligraphy, you will see that's how it ends. And yet there are no endings. There are only a journey. It is all a journey with no beginnings and no endings. So, Jai Guruji, thank you for having me and making this most delightful experience for me to be able to read to all you beautiful souls. And I truly hope from the heart that you enjoyed listening to this book as much as I truly enjoyed writing it. Because again, it came straight from the heart. So thank you.
Thank you, Auntie. We've really enjoyed it. And the Q&A is also something that we look forward to. So, Sangaji, if anybody wants to ask a question or share anything, they can raise their hands and we can have a discussion.